everybody. We are back again to talk some college football.
Yes, we are.
We are already into
week 4 already.
Week 4. Man, week 4, it just seems like it started like 3 days ago. And now we're already into week 4. But before we get into week 4, we have to recap week 3. So what we do, we always talk about the top 15 ranked teams. We predict whether they're going to win, they're going to lose, and then we talk about them after it's over with, and then we'll throw a stinker or two in there also.
Yep.
So we'll start out by recapping week 3. And we don't do them in order either. We just do them by the order that they're played throughout the day.
Yep.
So we'll, but we do start off with number 1 this time because number 1 played a noon game last time. That is Georgia that played South Carolina.
Man, do you want some cooked turkey on
a
stick?
Cooked chicken on a stick. Man, they 48-7. I didn't think it would be that dominating. I mean, I knew they'd beat them,
but I didn't think they would beat.
I mean, that was. Are you sure that was a South Carolina State or something? I mean, that wasn't the big South Carolina school, was it? Because man, 48-7.
I mean,
that was
Spencer Rattler. He was not good.
There was a reason why he wasn't kept in Oklahoma.
And he threw 2 interceptions and no touchdowns here.
Yeah, so.
And South
Carolina was looking decent last year, looking like they've actually took a step back this year.
A little bit, but they played Arkansas and Georgia.
And they lost, so.
Yeah.
They're not up to those levels yet. I mean, they may be building a pretty good program. I've still got my doubts about Rattler, to be honest. When I watched him at Oklahoma year before last, he really wasn't that good there, to be honest. So,
yeah,
you know.
He wasn't really that good over there.
No.
And Georgia just flexed their muscles.
Yeah, we had, speaking of flexing muscles, Michigan, UConn.
UConn didn't even belong in the same district as Michigan.
59 to 59
nothing.
to nothing. Gosh.
The most notable thing about that game, despite that beatdown, is that they used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quarterbacks.
9 quarterbacks. Michigan used 9. How do you have? You don't even have 9 quarterbacks on your roster.
They had like 9 people throw a pass in the game. It was so bad of a beating.
So they used up probably all their 4 or 5 quarterbacks.
And some running backs and
wide receivers threw some passes too.
So technically it's 9.
Man, that's crazy. 9 people threw passes.
And a little piece of history. Meelan Morris is the first female assistant on any coaching staff in Big Ten history.
Oh, well, cool. Congrats to her. We'll go on down to Oklahoma at Nebraska. Nebraska got rid of Scott Frost. But they still stink.
They still stink, man. That defense was so bad they fired the defensive coordinator.
Well, they fired the head coach last week, the defensive coordinator this week, and they still lost 49-14.
It's still a absolute disaster at Nebraska. They need to do something very fast.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma, positive step forward.
Yeah. We had Youngstown State at Kentucky.
Comfortable win, 31-0.
31-0. Yeah, a very comfortable win. Yeah, defense held. Whenever you held somebody to 0, no matter who it is,
it's pretty good.
It's a pretty good game, and they won by 31 points. So
that's a good.
That's a pretty good score there too. So
Kentucky's off to a good start.
Mm-hmm. Like Kentucky doesn't have a lot of hard teams left. I was actually looking through their schedule. The only hard teams they got left is Tennessee, Ole Miss,
Georgia.
All of the rest of the games are actually. I think they played Northern Illinois this week or something.
Even if they win against Ole Miss, they would still be 10-2.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they lose to Ole Miss, they'd still be 9-3 with a chance to be 10 wins.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be a good year for Kentucky no matter what it looks at. We got Texas State at Baylor. Baylor coming off of that loss last week.
To BYU.
Beat them by 35 points, 42-7. So that was pretty predictable, too.
Yeah, Baylor did a bounce back, and this was a good bounce back game for them.
Yeah. Then we had one of the marquee matchups of the week, BYU at Oregon.
Oregon laid the smackdown on them.
I knew. I mean, we call that when we call Oregon with the big W there. I think there was actually 2.5 points was all that was involved in the score on that one. And I mean, BYU. the pollsters got a bad habit of going, oh man, they look good. Let's put them at 12.
Only for them to get butt
All
smacked.
for them to get crushed the next week, and then they drop back down to 22 or something. That's just how
man.
they are.
But
So.
props to Oregon for bouncing back after that week 1.
Yeah, I'm starting to think, Oregon is not that bad. It's maybe
Georgia's just that
it's
good.
just that good.
Georgia just makes a good team look like a crappy team.
Yeah, they do. We got, let's see here, University of Louisiana Monroe at Alabama, 63-7.
What did you expect? The Gumps were just going to jump all over them from the get-go.
Yeah, that was just a good old-fashioned beatdown.
Bryce Young being Bryce Young, what a surprise. I mean, Alabama being Alabama.
Yep.
What a surprise.
Now we had Toledo at Ohio State, 77-21. That's not a basketball score. That's football, 77-21.
Ohio State's offense, I guess, is getting under for the fifth gear right now because 77 points is pretty good.
Yeah. We had Arkansas Pine Bluff, Oklahoma State, 63-7. 3 straight games of 63 to 77 to 63.
Dear Lord.
It's warm-up time, people. We
Warm
had
up time.
Missouri State at Arkansas.
This game was a scare at first.
Arkansas was losing, through the third quarter? So that is a little bit of a scare, yeah. They ended up winning by 11, but it was only through the fourth quarter. So,
And then Arkansas decided to pull the talent.
the talent card, yep.
The talent Uno reverse. It's a classic.
And then we had some upsets. We had Michigan State at Washington. Loser, 39.
Michigan State not only
to
lost,
28.
they got walloped in Washington.
Got by 11 points. It was really uglier than that.
And they were losing by like 25 at one point in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was just miserable.
Yep.
And Michigan State's secondary, which was one of the worst in the country last year, came back to bite them this game.
Yeah, and they had their defensive starters were out too, weren't they? So
And
that hurt them a little bit
then
more.
they got carved up by Michael Penix.
Yeah.
And Washington got the W.
We had La Tech at Clemson, 48-20. Not as convincing as you would hope if you're a Clemson fan.
I mean,
but still a 28-point win is a 28-point win.
if you're a Clemson fan, you still want DJ benched. I bet you.
Yeah.
They want that Cade Klubnik guy in, and I think it's probably for the better of the team.
Another upset, number 13 Miami at Texas A&M. Another knee-jerk reaction by the rankers. Texas A&M loses. Appy State
was back, right?
Yeah, Texas A&M lost to Appy State, which is a pretty good team, I think, and also dropped them down to 23 or 24, and now 17-9. Miami scored 9 points. That's really.
It's a far cry from what they did early in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 70 in week 1. I thought maybe Miami has something, but nope,
Texas,
they get 9 points.
Texas A&M coming off of a loss at home in that stadium.
They were gonna unleash some havoc.
Yeah.
And Miami's offense did nothing the whole game.
No, nothing. I said 9 points. That's pretty anemic if you're a college football team.
Anemic, yes, that's the word to use.
San Diego State at Utah. Utah won 35-7. Again, comfortable but not overwhelming.
Yeah, that's comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And then we had Fresno State at USC, 45-17.
Lincoln Riley's off to a fast start at USC.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder how long it lasts.
Yeah, USC's ranked number 7. We'll find out because they're going to eventually have to play
the Pac-12 conference.
Somebody decent, yeah. All right, that is all of our football, except for, I forgot, Tennessee. Akron at Tennessee, the line was 47.5.
You really had to watch how bad this bludgeoning was.
63-6.
Dear God.
And it was worse than that, really.
I mean, it was that bad. Akron.
The starters only played one drive into the second half, and then it was backups from that point on.
Akron just took a shotgun right to the foot and shot it over and over and over and over. Yeah. That's what Akron did the whole game, and Tennessee was taking advantage of every time they did.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't think that Tennessee would pull the 47.5 points because I figured they'd put in their backup. They'd get up by 30 points, put in their backups, and it'd end up being
their backup quarterback threw some dimes.
Yeah, Milton came in and threw a 60-yard touchdown pass, and it was on a rope, like a frozen rope. It was
a dime.
And then the third string quarterback came in and ran for a touchdown. So,
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Tennessee
You're
was
just
just gonna overwhelm
They
them.
were just. I actually saw a T-shirt the other day. I thought I might get. It says Tennessee and the over. That's what you gotta take. Tennessee and the over. But anyways, we that is our recap of all the games last week. Do we have a stinker this week?
Well,
Do we have a dumpster fire? I always forget my dumpster fire. I need to get my dumpster fire.
yes, it's been a common occurrence for him to lose that dumpster fire. He just keeps running off.
You would think you could keep up with the dumpster fire, but
It keeps rolling on.
it keeps rolling on. This is Marty the dumpster fire, and let's check out our dumpster fire
Of the week.
of the week.
Dumpster fire of the week.
Yeah. And our dumpster fire is
Auburn.
the Auburn Tigers. Why are the Auburn Tigers our dumpster fire this week?
Their coaching was terrible, and they played like absolute dog crap at home to Penn State.
At home against Penn State, you've got a ranked team coming in. You think, hey, let's rally around.
I know this
Jordan
is-
is a hard place to go play. What was the final score?
41-12.
41-12.
Jeez Louise.
41-12. That's pretty bad.
I know you're playing against Big Game James. We had to put that one in.
Big game, James Franklin.
And he did get the win here, but this was just a beatdown.
That was a beatdown, man. Auburn, I mean, you can smell.
Some dumpster burning over
You
in
can
Jordan
smell
Hare.
some cooked eagle or some cooked tiger, whatever their mascot is. We don't know
Charles,
for sure.
Charles Barkley probably doesn't like the smell of it either.
No, Charles Brady's probably going, man, it's time for a new coach.
Speaking of the new coach, Brian Harsin is in fuego.
He's having a little bit of problem. He's struggling, you could say. He's
I
struggling.
think the
a
only
little
way
bit.
I think he keeps his job if he somehow miraculously beats Alabama, which
That ain't gonna happen. They don't have much of an offense. This is their offense, basically run right, run left, run up the middle with their quarterback, and that's about it.
that's about it.
That's their offense that they have.
Great offensive line, by the way. That's the best.
And you got the best offensive line too. So yeah, all you have to do is throw 8 people up in the box, and you're gonna win 49-12, 46-12. Where is? I think I can call defense against that one. It'd be tough to, but yes, Auburn is our dumpster fire of the week.
UConn was too predictable, so we just thought.
Yeah, UConn could
just gotta
have very easily been it, but I mean they scored 0 points and gave up 59.
But we got to
That's
be
pretty
creative
bad.
here.
But you got to be creative. Yeah, Auburn was expected to do better and just
Flatline.
flatlined on it. Yeah. All right, let's jump into the next week. That would be week 4. We will save our Tennessee game for last, so we can talk about it. First up at noon, we have Kent State at Georgia. Another warm-up game for Georgia.
Well, didn't they already have one last week with South Carolina? Even though that's
They've had
conference-
one every game so far. The line on this is 45.5, and I'm going to take Georgia minus 45.5. I mean, they're going to beat
Why
somebody
not?
63-6 again, or 63-10
Yeah,
or
I mean,
something.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so you got to take that one. We got Maryland at Michigan. This will be a competitive game. Maryland's not bad. They're 3-0.
Maryland's not bad at all, really.
Michigan's 3-0.
And they've looked pretty good in the first 3 weeks.
The line's minus Michigan minus 16.5. I'm going to take Michigan, to be honest.
You want to take Michigan?
Michigan looks like a playoff team, dude. I'm not a Michigan fan, but they look better than they did last year. And last year they won the Big Ten. So I think they actually do look better this year.
Bigger game, Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, man. He actually looked decent last year. It took him how many years though? 4 years. Hey, 4 years.
At least you're doing something.
You're doing something, yeah. We got Clemson, number 5, at Wake Forest. This will be interesting. How good is Clemson? I mean, Wake Forest is not a giant to go through.
But it's still a test.
Wake Forest is number 21.
I mean, it's still a competitive test.
3-0 versus 3-0.
I might pick Clemson because of the experience of Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah, Clemson's only favored by 7 too, so they probably should cover that 7-point line. So
I'll
we'll
take the Tigers.
Yeah. We got Central Michigan at Penn State.
Big Game James.
Central Michigan is really bad.
So who are we gonna pick?
Big Game James. Big James are going to win this one. Yeah, the line's 28. I'll take Penn State minus 28. We got number 15, Oregon. That's right. Oregon has jumped back up into the top 15. Of course, they should have stayed the whole entire time.
Yep.
But they're back again now.
I mean, I think people disrespected Oregon a little bit early on, maybe.
But Oregon is at Washington State, who is undefeated.
So we potentially have a sneaky good game.
We have
here.
a sneaky good game here. Oregon is only favored by 7. Again, I will take Oregon.
You want to take the Ducks?
I'll take Oregon. Yeah,
You think
I'll take
they're cracking their way to 4-0 or 3-1?
3-1. Yeah, we got Northern Illinois at Kentucky. This will be a
Warm-up
beatdown.
game for the
Northern
Kentucky.
Illinois is really bad too.
I remember for a brief time when they were good, but
They're not right now.
now.
No, they're 1-2 right now. They got 2 losses and not looking good at all.
So take the Wildcats.
Minus 25.5. Yeah. We got Arkansas, or get one of our 2 games of the week. Arkansas at Texas A&M.
Rivalry game. It's one of those rivalry games.
Texas
that gotta look forward
A&M.
to.
Texas A&M is favored by 2 actually, and Texas A&M is at home. So basically, what they're saying is,
Although they're at a neutral site, they're in Jerry's house.
so it's. I'm going to take an upset. I'm taking Arkansas.
You want to take the Hogs?
I'm going to take Arkansas. Yeah,
Cool.
I think Arkansas overall is the better team. It's really a toss-up, honestly, between Arkansas and Tennessee, which is the 3rd best team in the SEC right now. We know Georgia's number 1, Alabama's number 2. The 3rd best team could be Arkansas, could be Tennessee. We'll find out
Sooner or later.
after this weekend.
Yes.
We will. We got Vanderbilt at Alabama. Sorry, Vanderbilt. Butt kicking is coming. Vanderbilt has not looked bad this year.
Vanderbilt has looked pretty decent so far.
Do you think Alabama will beat them by 40?
They couldn't beat Texas by that much, so
They
couldn't
won
beat
last
Texas by
week.
20,
They
but
won
they
last
won.
week by 50.
So you're saying Vanderbilt is on the Louisiana Monroe's level?
No, I think that's what I'm curious. The line's 40.5 points.
That's not
I'm taking Vanderbilt
plus the 40.
plus 40 points.
All right.
I don't know why, but I'm gonna give a little respect to Vanderbilt. They have not looked bad this year.
Their only losses to a ranked Wake Forest.
They played Wake Forest last week and only lost by 20, and that was late. They actually fought with them through.
That's
the
high
first
for
half.
Vanderbilt standards.
Yes, it
Recently.
is. Yes, it is. We got Wisconsin at Ohio State. Wisconsin took a L last week against a Sun Belt team, didn't they?
Or actually, they won against the Sun Belt team. They didn't lose. Which
Oh, they lost the week before against, was it Washington?
Washington State.
Washington State, that's right, yeah. The line's 18. Ohio State. I think Ohio State will probably cover that.
Well, the Buckeye offense trying to.
It's in
shift
Ohio
it to
State. If it was in Wisconsin, I'd probably take Wisconsin.
If it was, since it's in that old shoe of theirs.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to say the Ohio State.
Oh, people didn't even know what team I was talking about. We got UConn at the NC State. NC
One
State.
beat down to another beat down.
Yeah,
man.
NC State's favored by 39.
I'll take.
I'll take that. I'm sorry. Kansas State at Oklahoma. Kansas State's 2-1, and not a bad team.
They lost to Tulane at home.
That's the only tarnish on there. Oklahoma's only favored by 12. You think Oklahoma will beat them by more than 12?
Possibly. I think Oklahoma under Brent Venables looks a little different.
Mm-hmm, they do, yeah. They're more of a. They're not as explosive, are they?
But they
of
have
course,
more
he's
defense.
he's a defensive-minded coach, though. We had number 7 USC at Oregon State. This will be a tough game too. Oregon State is not a pushover this year.
They are 3-0.
They are 3-0, and not a bad team.
And USC is looking to stockpile as many wins to possibly push for a playoff spot.
Yeah, USC is favored by 6.5 at Oregon State.
I might take the Trojans plus 6.
I mean, minus 6.5. You mean?
Yeah, minus 6.5.
Yeah, and then we have Utah at Arizona State. Arizona State's just fired their coach, right?
Herm Edwards is out the door after losing to Eastern Washington.
So Utah's favored by 14.5.
Let's just take the Utes.
We'll take the Utes. And then last but not least, we have number 20 Florida at number, that's right, people, 11 Tennessee.
I mean, during my lifetime, I hadn't seen them ranked that high since like 2016 with Butch.
Butchie. With Butchie.
It's been a long time, huh?
Tennessee's favored by 10.5. I'm going to take Tennessee.
You're taking Tennessee plus the 10.5?
Uh,
This one is very personal.
You mean
This-
minus 10.5?
But this rivalry is very personal
Mm-hmm.
to me because I know a lot of Gator fans in real life,
Mm-hmm.
in my family and out of my family.
Yeah.
And we, as a Tennessee fan myself, I like to exchange stuff with those two while we're watching those games.
Yes, so it is. It's a fun little thing to do. But right now, Florida's strength is their running game. They're
Issues in the past.
They're only averaging about 140 yards and a little more than one interception and 140 games per game. They're having a little struggle passing. Their strength is the running, and right now Tennessee's defensive strength is
the run
the run. Tennessee's only giving up 83 yards per game
on
rushing.
on the ground.
So
Their issue is the pass, which Florida struggles
with. So I do think Tennessee's defense will be able to handle it. I think they'll still give up 3 to 4 touchdowns, which will be the 24, the 23, the 24, 26, 28 points. I think they'll give up that, but I think Tennessee scores 43.
So you're predicting 43-28 Tennessee over Florida?
43-26 is my original school thing. Yes, I think it will be.
Can Tennessee exit their tortured past against Florida?
I think Tennessee, if anything else, Florida will not be able to hear in that stadium.
Oh my gosh, I just realized.
It was sold out a week and a half ago, and there's such a frenzy right now for Tennessee to be good that they're going to be yelling at the top of their lungs till they can. If there's anybody sitting in that game, they will throw them out of the stadium. They will be standing the entire from the kickoff to the end of the game. If you sit down, then you won't. You'll probably get beat up by somebody. Because that's how crazy this game is going to be. They are checkering Neyland. It's the CBS game of the week. ESPN is there for
College game day. Possibly with Dolly Parton as a picker, which could be the icing on the cake.
It'll be Dolly, or it might be the baseball coach. Vitello might come out there. He would be a prime one to get out there too, just in case Dolly ain't in town. Or even Coach Barnes come out and do a little picking. That would be so. It's going to be. This is a huge week. If Tennessee loses this weekend, it's going to be a punch to the gut. I mean, because they are the better team, really. I mean, even if you're not a Tennessee fan like we are, Tennessee's the better team right now.
In terms of how they're playing, you could definitely say Tennessee's playing
Tennessee
better.
is the better team. So we will take Tennessee minus 10.5 and minus 11 and be happy about it. And that is college football for this week. We hope you had a little fun with us.
A special flavor of football compared to the pros, ain't it?
Yes, it is. College is a little more exciting to me. One loss in college can mean some trouble, some struggles. Yeah. You may not make the playoffs. Now, next year or the year after, when they go to 12 playoff teams.
Or next year, at the very soon, we could see 12 teams fight it out for a tournament.
Then honestly, that's going to make college football more exciting towards the end of the season. Right now, it's exciting towards the first and middle of the season because you think, we got to win these games or we're doomed. But you could, if the 12
comes in,
you could lose a game early.
And you have no problem.
Fight late, get into the top 12, and still have a shot at the title. So it's going to completely change the landscape of college football, and I think it's fantastic. I don't think if you have a slip up, like let's say I'm a Texas A&M fan, and Appy State comes in and beats us, and it's a good Appy State team, and then all of a sudden I don't get to go to the national championship, to the playoffs. Even though I win, I mean, I got to literally win out now to even think about having a chance. So
that's how much of an improvement boosting it to 12 from 4 is.
Yeah. But anyways, that is college football. We hope you had a little fun. Be sure and hit some words in here. Throw us some words. Tell us something. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Share us with your friends. Hit the green baby button over here some more. Other than that, we'll see you for more college football next week.
See you next week.